Smacking Smalls presents The March to YouTube Domination! Dateline Hollywood. A plucky red-haired beauty hatches her plan to conquer the internet by gaining 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But she can't do it alone. Only you can help her in her quest to achieve YouTube greatness by liking, subscribing, and most importantly, sharing her videos. Remember, it's up to you to fight the evils of YouTube suppression and the evil corporations who want to keep you down by clicking the like button as we march our way to YouTube domination!
You're making me go tinfoil Looney Tunes because you're doing things that look tinfoil Looney Tunes! No, that's really what this video is about. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. That is all. I am not part of some grand conspiracy to convert people into a political affiliation I know nothing about. I am not part of this elaborate scheme that Disney seems to have cooked up against people who are critical of a movie. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie in a series of movies that haven't been bad, or haven't been good, rather, in a very, very, very long time. They haven't been good since the 80s, since probably Return of the Jedi. I was not a fan of the prequels. I'm not a fan of Disney. And the odd, bizarre need for them to apparently need to shut us all up at the same time as release all of these popular opinion propaganda puff pieces about Kathleen Kennedy, about why she needs to lead Star Wars despite the ever decline in box office total fans, despite losing and bleeding fans left and right every time you run an article like they're all a bunch of ists and phobes. These things look so obvious to me that they are this coordinated effort. In my opinion, you know, being somebody who will put on a tinfoil hat, now that you've forced it upon my head, I suppose that's really where this is going. This is kind of a condensed version of the rant that I'm going to be uploading probably in its entirety at some point, probably Saturday, Sunday. We'll see. It's a long one, it's a loud one, it's a headphone warning one. This really just is a condensed version of what has been happening these past few years. And the fact that a lot of these articles are so filled with misinformation, factually incorrect nonsense, and just, oh, well, somebody said it, so it must be true crap. It really is hard to take any of them seriously. It reminds me of people just telling you something is, and you're expected to believe it. Now, what would we label that? And it almost seems like these are coordinated to do just this. Anytime something happens, they will release articles against YouTube channels. They will release weird puff pieces. Look at this Kathleen Kennedy article, for example. Why Kathleen Kennedy is still the best choice to lead the future of Star Wars. We'll just do what they do. We'll just look at the headline. See, she's smiling. Everything's bright and well lit. They don't bother to go into the box office totals or the fact that the movies failed to live up to fans' expectations, failed to live up to the box office standard of, we'll take something like the Marvel movies, for example. Kevin Feige managed to make those increase, didn't he? They kept, gaining money. And you would think with Star Wars, instead of, gaining money like it's supposed to, like the Marvel movies did, you would think with something like Star Wars, she would have been able to do that. But no, she didn't. They all went downhill in trajectory, making less and less than the previous one, and they didn't even have the koof to blame because that came out well before. Not only that, you get into these articles that they release about fans with this, it's hate speech, it's nonsense, it's buzzwords designed to incite and manipulate a trigger in your brain, because you know these things are bad. Because you know these things are bad. So that's a go-to way to get you to, you read that and you're like, oh, I'm mad at that because I'm not that, or I'm mad at that because I hate that, or whichever, if it's written about you, like it is with me and a lot of the people that they're attacking in these pieces. Not only that, this is just listed like this elaborate. Just look, it's a 70-minute read, this article. This is a 70-minute read with these tags of all these people that I've never heard of, like these triangles. This is like a crime chart. This is like a CSI murder suspect. And it flows down and down. And if you want my entire rant on all of this, including picking apart the false misinformation about myself. Also, you love how they love to say, oh, you're sexist, you're racist, you're this and that. There are women on these lists. There are men of color on this list. I don't need to really even get into, you see me, so. Without even getting into this list, the thing that you start to notice when you do enough of these videos, you start to notice patterns. You start to notice how things are laid out, how things are planned out, what their attack patterns are, how the use of information flows to you, to the audience, to the regular person, somebody like me who just sees an article on my phone. It'll pop up and it'll be like, hey, if the headline, however, is blah, blah, how am I misogynist? I thought I was pro-feminist because I like to have a choice in the outfits I wear. I like to speak my mind. I don't like it when men tell me. Here's the thing. Usually the male feminists are the most anti-women I've ever seen. They always want to tell you what you need to think and why you're wrong. Excuse me, I've got a mind of my own, and I will speak it when I so choose. Thank you very much. But they use these articles, and it almost feels like you can predict it because you can. The second something happens, they will paint a smear campaign against somebody. They will use positive press like Kathleen Kennedy. And now what are they going to do? They're probably going to use the Fire Kathleen Kennedy hashtag to say a bunch of misogynist trolls just tried to get Kathleen Kennedy fired when all the articles love her. And that'll be next week. Mark my words. It'll be probably Monday. When am I recording this? Friday night. So probably Monday. So Monday, I imagine, they're probably going to come out with a lot of articles stating how misogynist Star Wars fans decided to downvote videos, and how misogynist Star Wars fans tried to get a poor woman, a well-respected producer who worked on everything from Back to the Future to Jurassic Park, fired. How dare they? They just hate women. Despite the fact that we all were in support of but she was just an islamophobe, despite not even stating what they claim she did. They're painting all of these narratives. This is why Bob Chapek answered with something that he wasn't asked. He brought in politics. They're bringing in all these little tactics and tricks to manipulate your casual viewing person. They will lie. I mean, if you look at this list, a lot of these people, if you just do one Google search,
wank.
And why do they do this? Because you see it enough times and it goes into your subconscious. And whether you care about Star Wars or not, you're going to hear about this. Because you say something enough, you repeat a lie enough, or you just repeat, because let's face it, not everybody's going to sit there and read through an entire article. They're going to look at the headline, which is what I've been doing sometimes when I just use them as examples. When I just use them as, and here's the headline that people are going to see, so they're going to have a positive opinion of Kathleen Kennedy going into next week. And they're going to have a negative opinion of anybody labeled conservative, so they're going to have a conservative right-wing trolls attack Kathleen Kennedy and try and get her fired. And that is why it is clear to me that when Bob Chapek is asked a question about a blacklist for Gina Carano, that he comes in to insert these political answers that nobody asked him in this manner. This is what they're doing. They're trying to set up this narrative, and they're trying to paint Kathleen Kennedy like she's going to be victimized by a bunch of right-leaning trolls or right-wing trolls or whatever they're going to call us, a bunch of ists and phobes and toxic white supremacist, racist, sexists who lean. That's what they're really trying to do. They're really going to try and do this, and don't be surprised next week when we see all these articles painting Kathleen Kennedy as this victim. That'll be next week's article. Why? Because it's going to get them a lot of clicks. It's going to get them a lot of buzzwords. And whether it's true or not, right? Because if you look at this thing here, if you just look at some of the people that they're trying to hit in this, some of them are mixed race. Some of them are not white at all. Some of them are not conservative at all. Some of them are women like me. Some of them are not even political. And this is what really, really pisses me off about having to talk about this bullshit in entertainment, is that I have to pay attention to it and I have to call it out as being one of these things that the media is using against all of us to try and divide us and play us off each other like we're a bunch. And if this wasn't so obvious, this is just so obvious. Like, just flip through this. These look like just a Looney Tunes crazy charts and graphs. You've run analysis for a fucking movie. Wouldn't it be cheaper just to hire a good director? Wouldn't it would have been cheaper to hire somebody who was good at writing movies? Wouldn't it have been cheaper just to go with what George Lucas already had written out and scripted? But no, they gotta use these terms like Yahtzee, which isn't even the one we're talking about, but it's the other one that sounds like it. And they want to use, left wing, right wing, these flow chart, like, outrage media. I'm not media. I am an entertainment. I was playing video games in 2015 when they're saying a lot of this stuff started. I wasn't even anywhere near there. They're using references to... If you want to get into the full rant, I'll link it somewhere once it's up. I am editing that one, and it's going to be a whopper. It's going to be a doozy. It is a... I was kind of scared to do it. I'm afraid. This is the problem. They want to make you afraid. These people want to make you afraid to speak your mind. And for something like me, I would have just censored and cut every single thing out. So I had to send it off to make sure that at least some of it would stay intact, because I would be too afraid to actually speak my mind on these things for fear of getting attacked by these Looney Tunes people, by these nut jobs, by these crazy people who do nothing but sit around and stalk your social media accounts. They collect screenshots of your channels to analyze you. They're analyzing people. And this is what really, really wanted to make me revisit this one in a shorter, condensed version that wasn't a giant yelling rant. Well, I will just put it full screen as possible. Maybe I'll just overlay here. I don't want to read through every single one of these because it's going to take forever to do that, but they're not in actual 100% order either. I thought they started at the return of Luke Skywalker, but no, there's a few here and there. And then we see these with the likes and dislikes are removed from their videos, the attacks on people like Bill Burr, YouTube personalities, the Mandalorian books are all canceled about a minute apart. And you had your polling data of 73% of Americans thinking that Disney was wrong for Disney to fire Gina Carano. And that was another one that happened this week. Just there every couple of days. It is so like we are in this back and forth tug of war of here's what really happens versus here's what they're trying to make the public believe happened. Like, what the crap is this? If you don't want us to have these Looney Tunes tinfoil theories, don't do this crap where it's so crapping obvious. That's what it feels like. It is so crapping obvious that you are coordinating these things, that you have a bunch of marketing interns or whoever you've got working for you, sitting their butts on social media, manipulating crap. You have people with 10 and 15 accounts constantly reposting the same stuff. You have a person, a manager in charge of social media marketing, probably. And they create all these accounts because that's their job. That's their job. That's why you have these people that you see on Social Blade with their social media accounts and their Twitter handles where they are just tweeting all day long. That is their job. They're chatterers. It is a term that we actually have for these people. And I went a little ranty on this. But this is what it feels like to me. And just watch for it next week. When they start trying to paint Kathleen Kennedy as this, they went after her, these misogynist trolls went after the most beloved producer of all time, Kathleen Kennedy. Bite me. I'm Mecha Random 42. Not you guys. You guys are cool. I will see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. I'm making lemon bars tonight, damn it. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.
Don't try to ruin my life with lies when your life can be ruined with the truth.